And we're still wondering why he has that 111 on his back. 1, 1 and 1. And there is Coyote. Well, look at that for sportsmanship. Patting each other on the back. One of these two will be World 125 champion by the end of today. Puzar's team manager there, Corrado Mardi, with advice as to get, or how to get off that gate quicker than anybody else. There is Puzar, a little bit of practice. Well, the tension certainly beginning to mount. And Puzar, a former 250cc world champion. He's been here before. Frederici, number 15, slots in beside him. Coyote is the man that can possibly win. Finished second last year to Bob Moore. Puzar, the flag on top of the post. Somebody's confident for sure. Well, those preparations are being made. The 15-second board goes up for the second to last time in 1995. The 125 penultimate leg is about to get underway. Here they go. Who will it be that'll get the whole shot? Into the right hand, up to the top of the circuit. And it is Puzar. Yes, indeed, Puzar, Jimmy Button, 59. Oh, caught up behind somebody else, Button. I can't see him. There's Coyote. I couldn't see who the rider was that went down, but Coyote comes through, and it's Puzar that leads from Frederic Vial, number 7. Well, the scene is most definitely set at the moment. Tortelli there, number 25. The young 16-year-old Frenchman, Sébastien Tortelli, beginning to make up places from a bad start. But where is Coyote in relation to Puzar? It's all on this race. Puzar, 1-1-1 for this race. 111. Will it be number 1 for 1996? Almost didn't race at all this year. Thought about a career in something else, but came back to racing. Probably very glad of it now, as the rest of the pack stream down the hill. There is Coyote, back I would say in around 8th or 9th at the moment. Whole gaggle of riders in front of him. He's got to have to work hard for this if he wants to get on terms with Puzar. There, stuck behind number 71, Michele Fanton. Somebody's off the track. That's number 30, and that's Camelengo. Over the big jump comes Puzar in the lead. Vial chases him second. The battle is on between those two, the Italian and the Frenchman at the moment. Can Vial get past Puzar and give Coyote a chance of catching? Then it's number 12 coming through. That's Michele Mascio, then Frederici, and then Coyote. So he's making progress. Puzar, Vial in his wheel tracks. He will be given pit signals each time he comes through. Look at the ruts beginning to develop there. Very wet part of the track, that is. These are not the best conditions for Coyote. He's up to 4th. So he has a chance, but you can see the state of the track in places. It's very, very wet. Look at Vial closing on Puzar. The front two beginning to get away a little bit from 3rd and 4th place man. But Vial wants to win this. There's Mascio coming through, number 12. And then it should be Coyote behind him. There's the pit board. Puzar being told exactly where Coyote is. Vial hangs on, then Michele Mascio comes through. And Coyote's dropped back. That's the Dane Jorgensen, number 40, that's in front of him. So Coyote's made a bit of a mistake. Gonna have to work his way back up again. 5th now. And the leaders are most certainly getting way, way away from him. Puzar leads, 111 on the side of the Honda. Team manager Corrado Mardi will be ecstatic if Puzar wins this championship. Vial chases in 2nd place, number 7 on the bike. Then it's Mikhail Maschio, number 12, behind him in third. Track tape on the circuit. Hope that doesn't get caught up in somebody's wheel. There is Coyote and Jorgensen still in front of him. Look at Coyote getting caught up with that track tape. Almost pulling his leg off the bike. Disaster could be around any corner for this little Italian. Puzar being urged on. Here in Germany, this is the last round of the World 125 Series. Puzar leads then. Vial second, Mikhail Maschio third, Jorgensen fourth, and Coyote is still fifth. They are urging him on to greater things, but has the little Italian got it left in him? Needed a good start, didn't get it. Puzar did what was required, got out of the gate first, looks over his shoulder to see where the opposition is. Vial has dropped off just a little bit, but is still in a dangerous position. But as long as Coyote finishes behind Puzar in this first race, they can scrap for it in the second race. There is Coyote behind Jorgensen still. The Chesterfield 125 Yamaha working overtime at the moment. Sebastian Tortelli, number 25, beginning to make up ground from a poor start. Jimmy Button, 59, the American, also beginning to make up space as the rest of the pack come through. The lower placings now being fought for. 122, Craig Prattley. There's the leader once again, Puzar. He's got this, I think. Only really a rider error or machine failure will deny Puzar a win. But look at Frederic Vial. He hasn't given it up yet. And the dying stages of this first leg, Vial may still yet pop a surprise. Mikhail Maschio, number 12, still hangs on to third. We're looking back for fourth, and it's Coyote. So we've lost the Dane Jorgensen. Coyote goes up a place. Fourth is not good enough. Puzar leads. This will be 20 points. Vial chases second for those 17 points. They're urging him on. All the front end of that bike of Vial's getting all out of shape through those ruts. Maschio coming into the corner. There's the Chesterfield team manager, Michele Rinaldi, urging his man on. Kiko Coyote really can do no more but to sit in fourth place and just hope that he can make it up in the second race. Puzar then leads. Coyote back in fourth. Those are the two main protagonists. Here is Puzar getting even closer to that second World Championship. Vial, oh, his seat's come off. Frederic Vial has lost his seat. Well, that's going to be a very uncomfortable ride from now on. There is Puzar. Next man around will be seatless Kawasaki. Yes, indeed. Frederic Vial, well, I should think he's not thinking about sitting down. Here comes Coyote, closing on third place man, Mikhail Maschio. Can he catch him before the checkered flag? Down the hill comes race leader Puzar, championship leader. The horns are honking. The flags are waving. Italy could be on course here for a world championship. There is Frederic Vial without that seat. That's got to be extremely uncomfortable. Just sitting on the frame. There is Coyote chasing Mikhail Maschio, and Coyote might just get him before the checkered. It's the difference between 13 and 15 points. Oh, they're having a right little ding-donger here. The board goes out. Here comes Puzar. On course to add to his championship. Vial seatless. I should think he won't be sitting down too much between races after about 4 or 5 laps without the seat. Very difficult to corner without your seat when you sit down, waiting on the tank for the corners. But there's the leader picking off the back markers. This is where problems can occur. Vial, as you can see, dropping off the pace from first place man, but the battle is on for third. Coyote goes through the inside. He's got him, and they go wild. Coyote goes up to third. That's going to be 15 points instead of 13. Mikhail Maschio really bent, I think, a little bit under the pressure, but here is Pouzar, totally unaware of the action that's unfolding behind him. Must know that he's dropped Vial, probably doesn't realise why, but he knows that he's out in the lead clearly now. Just has to keep his head, keep the bike on the track, keep the thing going. He's on course for 20 points. The battle is on now. There is Vial, Chiodi right up behind him. Here he comes. Can he catch Vial for second? What a spirited ride by this little Italian. Being urged on by the thousands of fans that have poured in here today to cheer him on. Well, whichever way it goes, it'll be a World Championship for Italy. There's Frederic Vial. Decided to trial it through. Here comes Chiodi, I think, to take. He's let him through. Vial has led him into second, so we've got Pouzar now in the lead. Chiodi second, 20 and 17 points. Here's the checkered flag. Alessandro Pouzar then wins race one of this last round of the World Championship. It should be Chiodi coming home in second. Well, there is Chiodi, and he's got a problem with his finger. Apparently, Michael Maschio's mechanic left the board out just a little too long, and Chiodi collided with it, injuring his fingers. Here comes Rinaldi. Well, he surely would be worried if that's... Well, look at his finger. That's certainly split the end of the finger of some kind. Well, anyway, we'll wait and see what happens in race two. Bike preparations here to Pouzar's machine. There, the fingers of Chiodi. Bit of plaster on the end of it. They're looking very swollen and sore. So let's hope that that doesn't hinder his progress in this second and final moto. Pouzar with that familiar headgear on. Looks up and down the start gate. Jimmy Button making a few alterations to his starting blocks. The fans are obviously going wild. Pouzar gets a practice start at the back of the gate, ensuring that everything is working as it should do, the clutch and so forth. Frederici, 15, drops in beside him. Well, this is it. The last and final round of the year of the World 125 Series. It's between Pouzar and Chiodi. Chiodi riding now with an injured finger. Pouzar on a high, 20 points from race one. Chiodi coming through to finish second. And when you add that lot together, there's actually only 1 point different. It started to rain again, so the 1 point between them going into the last race of the year. Whoever finishes in front is going to win the World Championship. Gates dropped, the rain is dropping, but it's not certainly dampened the enthusiasm of the crowd. They're loving this. Look at this. Go, he says, go. It's a red shirt. It could be, and it is. Pouzar that leads from Vial yet again. Chiodi back, but pushing forward in about fifth. Frederici on the inside of him. Well, as we said, whoever wins or whoever finishes in front of whomever is going to win the championship. It's Pouzar at the moment. And Chiodi with those fingers, well, he must be in some kind of pain. There he is, slides the Yamaha into the corner. He's got Tortelli behind him, then Frederici. Maschio, and look at the rain beginning to fall. That's going to make track conditions very treacherous. Pouzar leads. Vial second, this time he's got the seat. Chiodi up to third. So the battle is on. Tortelli trying to push through. There's Frederici, 15. Maschio behind him, and you can see the rain sleeting down in front of our camera. Pouzar, Vial, Chiodi. Just one rider between the two main protagonists in the championship. They are screaming at him to go for it. Remember, he's got some damaged fingers. That isn't going to help his case. Pouzar looks over his shoulder to see where the second, third place men are, and the answer is it's Chiodi in second. He's on the gas. Can he catch Pouzar? Well, the two Italians absolutely going for this, 100%. Oh, and down goes Chiodi. Tortelli goes through, he's up to third. But Chiodi makes a mistake, the front wheel washes out. We said that rain would make the track a little treacherous, and it's caught Chiodi out, but not this man. Puzar now has the gap he needed between himself and Chiodi, and Chiodi looks to be back in around 4th now, and I think that may be it for the Italian. Obviously he's re-hurt those fingers when he went down. Jimmy Button, 59, trying to pick up places and points before the end of the championship. But Sandro Puzar, it is at the moment that leads race 2. Sebastian Tortelli in 2nd. All Chiodi can hope for. That's Dave Strybus in 3rd. There's Chiodi in 4th. Well, all Chiodi can hope for is that Tortelli gets past Puzar. It'll help to reduce the points deficit just a little. Jimmy Button trying to claw his way back up. Well, there's Vial. Well, he's been off. He was 2nd in the opening part of the race. And, well, that was very nearly for somebody then. I think that was Tortelli. It was. Oh, just look at Tortelli and Strybus. Well, if those two get past Puzar, that'll put him right with Chiodi. Look at Strybus on Tortelli. Dave Strybus, the Dutchman. One of our elder statesmen in the 125 series. Really showing all his track craft in these slippery conditions against the 16-year-old Frenchman. There's Chiodi. Whether he's aware of what's going on in front of him at the moment. And Strybus has taken the lead. Well, this is unbelievable stuff. And Tortelli goes round the outside of Puzar. There's Chiodi. Well, he's got to finish in front of Puzar to win the championship. 1 point was the difference when they came to the line for this last race between them. And Dave Strybus, oh, goodbye, Tortelli. Well, I think he forgot that he had brakes on the bike. Oh, off the side of the track. Well, that gives Chiodi another chance. Unbelievable this is. Tortelli obviously wanted to win this last race of the season. He's already had 3 wins, which is unbelievable racing when you consider this is his first year at World Grand Prix 125 racing. Checkered flag then for Dave Strybus, but Puzar it is. World champion 1995. The Italian Sandro Puzar is the 125 world champ, and he is loving this. Look at the crowd. His girlfriend there gives him a hug, and so she should. 4 months pregnant, expecting their first child, a world champion and a father.